Hello my dear students and welcome back to Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipuri and today we are doing a very important topic of physics, that is concept of potential and potential difference. Now students, the knowledge of this topic is very important if you want to learn the topic of current electricity for all the standards and for all the boards. So you should always know the concept of potential and potential difference. So students, if you see there is a ball and if that ball is initially here down, then you say its potential energy is very less because it is very close to the ground. Now at this position its potential energy is high because now it is at a distance h above the ground, and because of this height now this has high potential energy. So we say that this is at high potential and initially it was at low potential. So when you release a ball from high potential, that is from a height h, then what do you see that it falls under gravity? It follows this path. Okay, and as it comes close to the ground its acceleration keeps on increasing. Okay, that is acceleration due to gravity. So where does this ball move from? Automatically it moves from high potential to low potential under gravity. Similarly, if you take two water vessels, okay, in which water is filled and we connect a pipe from the bottom of these vessels, what will we see? That water will flow from this vessel to this vessel irrespective of the amount of water present. So always the direction of water flow will be from higher height to a lower height. So water also is flowing from high potential to low potential. Now if you see here, this is a hot body and this is a cold body and both of them are in contact, then what will happen? The heat will flow like this from a hot body to a cold body until the temperature of both of them are same. So this is the direction of heat flow. So heat also flows from hot to cold, that is a body having a high temperature to a body having low temperature. Now suppose you take a conductor which is deficient of electrons. So since it is deficient of electron, it has more number of positive charges and this has an excess of electrons. So a body which has a deficiency of electrons or a body which is positive is said to be at high potential and a body which is negative is said to be at low potential. Now if you connect it with a wire, okay, so since the electrons are more in number here, so the electrons will flow like this, and we all know that the direction of flow of current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So our current will flow like this. So here also the current is flowing from high to low potential. So you should always remember that current flows from high potential to low potential. So what is this potential that we are talking about? So potential is the electrical state of a conductor which determines the direction of flow of charge when two conductors are either kept in contact or joined by a metallic wire. So when these two conductors are joined by a wire or kept in contact, then it is the potential that determines where the charges will flow. Now since we know that this is at high potential, okay, so the electrons will flow from low potential to high potential, but the current will flow from high potential to low potential. So it is the potential which is determining the flow of charge. So now we understand the term potential. Now how do we quantitatively explain the term potential? We know that like charges repel each other. So when we bring two like charges together, they will repel. So like charges repel each other while the unlike charges attract. If there are unlike charges, they will attract. Hence, work is involved in moving a charge in the vicinity of another charge. So if there is another charge present, then there is a lot of work which is involved in moving this charge in the vicinity of the another charge. So our first point is, from the surrounding of many charges, work is involved in moving one charge from the vicinity of other charges. Now, if a charge is brought near another like charge, some work has to be done in moving the charge against the repulsive force on it due to other charge. Suppose there are two positive charges. Now, these two positive charges will repel each other because they are like charges and like charges repel. Now, if we want to move this charge, okay, if there are two charges and I want to move this charge close to this charge, then it becomes very difficult because we have to overcome the repulsive forces. So a lot of work is involved in moving a charge in presence of another charge. Therefore, quantitatively, means in terms of quantity, how much? So quantitatively, the potential at a point in a region of charges is measured in the terms of work done. Okay. Work done in moving a test charge from a point of zero potential to that point in the region. So what is potential? It is the amount of work done in moving a test charge, the charge that we are testing, from a point of zero potential to that point in the region. You will understand this better now. Now, since the force between two charges at infinite separation is zero, suppose there are two charges and they are at infinite separation, they are very far off from each other, then the force between these two charges is zero, right? There is very negligible force because they are separated at an infinite distance. Therefore, we consider the potential to be zero when the charges are at infinite separation. So, when two charges are there, they are close, then there has to be some potential, there has to be some work done in moving these charges. But suppose these two charges are at infinite distance, means they are very far apart from each other, then we can consider the potential between them is zero because there will be no work done as there is no attraction or repulsion between them. And thus, we define potential in this way. Potential at a point. So, suppose this is a point A. Okay, and at this point we want to determine the potential. So, the potential at point A is defined as amount of work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Now, suppose another positive charge is here at infinity, then the amount of work done in bringing this unit positive charge to this point is known as potential at this point. So, how do we define potential? If there is a unit positive charge at infinity, then the amount of work done in bringing that unit positive charge from infinity to the point of which we want to find the potential. So, this is how you define potential quantitatively. So, now we know electric potential is the work done per unit charge in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point against the electrostatic force, and we know that now there is no electrostatic force between the two charges as they are separated by infinity. Or in simple words, we can define it as the amount of electric potential energy at a point. So, at a particular point, what is the amount of electric potential energy? Now, let us talk about electric potential difference. So, what is potential difference and how it is different from potential at a point? Now, electric potential difference is known as voltage. It is also known as voltage, which is equal to work done per unit charge to move the charge between 2 points against static electric field. So, now we know for potential, if this positive charge was kept at infinity and we want to find potential at this point A, then the amount of work done in bringing this unit positive charge from infinity to that point A is known as potential. Then what is potential difference? If I have 2 points, point A and point B, okay, then the amount of work done in bringing this unit positive charge from one point to another point is known as the potential difference between these 2 points. Okay, so if there are 2 points and charge is unit positive charge or your test charge is kept at B, then the amount of work done in bringing that charge from that point to this point is known as the potential difference between these 2 points. Or in simple words, we can state the difference in the amount of electric potential energy between 2 points in an electric circuit is called electric potential difference. So, here you can see a piece of a metal wire. So, there are positive cations, metal ions you can say, and free electrons. So these free electrons keep on bumping to each other and the positive ions in the walls, but they do not move in a particular direction. So in a conductor, the electron will flow only when there is a difference in electric potential at its ends. This is called potential difference. So if I connect this battery now, okay, so if I switch this on, now there is a potential across its ends. So now these electrons will start drifting towards the positive side. So all the electrons, instead of moving here and there, will slowly start drifting towards this side. So in a conductor, electrons will flow only when there is a difference in electric potential. So when did they start flowing? When there was this potential difference applied. So this was at high potential and this was now at low potential. Earlier both were at the same potential, but now since we have changed the potential across the ends, okay, then only the electrons will start flowing. Okay. Now this is called potential difference, and in a circuit this potential difference is created by a battery or a cell. So when we connected a battery or a cell, then only this potential difference was created and then the electrons started moving. So a battery or a cell has a potential difference. Why does a cell or a battery has a potential difference? Due to the reaction of chemicals inside it, even when it is not connected to any circuit. So if you have seen some dry cell or battery, you must have noted that there are chemicals, there is anode and cathode, so there is always a chemical reaction happening. So due to this chemical reactions, there is always a potential difference. Now once connected, the potential difference makes the electron flow and the current is generated in the circuit. So once it is connected in the circuit, you see this bulb will start glowing because now the potential of this battery will force the electrons in the circuit to move, and when the electrons start moving, the current starts moving and you can see the bulb glowing. A battery generates this potential difference till the chemicals inside it are not completely spent. So till the chemicals are not completely over, this reaction keeps on happening and it keeps on generating the potential difference, the steady potential difference between the 2 points. And if there is a steady potential difference between 2 points, then only the electrons or charges will flow. Now, we know now that potential difference is defined as work done to move a unit charge from one point to another. So now we know this potential difference is work done per unit charge. So the formula becomes potential difference is work done divided by charge. So we can write it as V equal to W upon Q, where V denotes potential difference, W denotes work done, and capital Q denotes the total charge. The SI unit is volt and it is denoted by V. Now this name is in honor of the Italian physicist Alessandro Volta, and what is the unit of work? It is joules, and unit of charge we know is coulomb. So if I write it again, when this will become 1, when this is 1 and this is 1, so 1 divided by 1 is 1. So how can we define 1 volt? Now since joule is the unit of work, and coulomb is the unit of charge, therefore 1 volt of electric potential difference is equal to 1 joule of work done to be done. 1 joule of work is done to move a charge of 1 coulomb from one point to another in an electric circuit. So when there is point A and point B in an electric circuit, then the potential difference will be said to be 1 volt when 1 joule of work is done in bringing 1 coulomb of charge from point A to B. Okay. Now let us solve some numerical problems on this so that you understand it very well. The first question is, calculate the work done if the charge of 5 coulomb moving across 2 points having potential difference equal to 15 volt. Now they have given the potential difference as 15 volt and they have given charge as 5 coulomb, and we have to find the work done. Now we know that V is equal to W upon Q, that is potential is work done per unit charge. So we can say work done will be V multiplied by Q. So it will be, what is your potential difference? 15, and your charge is 5. So 15 into 5 would be 75, and what is the unit of work done? Work done is in joules. So the answer is 75 joules. Let's see the next sum. Now in the next sum, calculate the work done to carry a charge of 3 coulomb if the potential difference between the 2 points is 10 volt. So they have given potential difference and they have given charge, and we are supposed to find work done. So we know work done is equal to potential difference into charge. So it will be 10 into 3, that would be 30 joules. Right, this is very easy. Now let's see our next sum. What potential difference is required to do 100 joule of work to carry a charge of 10 coulomb between 2 points? Now they are asking potential difference. So we know potential difference is work done upon total charge. So what is the work done? 100 joules. And what is the total charge? It is 10 coulombs. So this is very easy. So this is 10 joules per coulomb, or we can write 10 joules per coulomb like this, or we can write 10 volts. So the SI unit is volts, so we will write that the potential difference is 10 volts. Correct? Also we know when your voltage will be 1 volt, when this will be 1 joule and this will be 1 coulomb. Or we can say volt is also equal to joule per coulomb, which can also be written like joule per coulomb, right? So both of these units are equivalent to volt. So if you keep in mind these formulas and the units and the conversion of units, then it becomes very easy to solve all the numericals of the chapter current electricity. So students, it is very important to know the difference between potential and potential difference, and the concept of what is potential and what is potential difference, so as to understand the topic of current electricity or electricity very well. I hope you enjoyed learning the topic with me. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and write it in the comment box. It gives me motivation to make new videos for you all. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, do it right away and don't forget to tap on the bell icon. Please share the videos with all your friends and keep the learning on. Thank you and have a fabulous day.